Hi, it's John and welcome to the channel. Great to have you along. Thursday, June the 19th, just a couple of days before the official start of summer. 6:26 a.m., getting going a little bit later this morning. I've been up for hours with my big blue mug of coffee. And I've started this video a bunch of times already. Just trying to get the right tone, I think. And I want to start off by saying, do you think the people who voted for the Liberal Party will ever realize that they've been had? And the reason I bring this up is because the other day, that would have been the 17th, I put a folder in my computer called Pride Comes Before the Fall. It's a biblical reference from Proverbs. Here's the exact quote: "Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall," unquote. And I think it's the old way of saying don't get too cocky. And the reason I put this in my folder was I go on X in the morning. The first thing I see on X is all of these people with praise for Mark Carney and the Liberal Party. And I was wondering the other day, will these people finally realize, is there something that the Liberal Party and Carney will do to make them realize that they've been had? And I woke up this morning with a whole different perspective on this. I don't think there is. I don't think there's anything that Carney and the Liberals can do to make these people realize they've been had. Mark Carney is the greatest leader in their eyes in the history of the world. It used to be a time when a party would do something or a government would do something that would get them kicked to the curb. I remember the sponsorship scandal. You remember that. It was one thing. Think of the dozens of things the Liberals have done over the last 10 years, and they're still there, folks. They're not going away. I did a video about a week or so ago saying that I think the Liberals are going to entrench themselves in government. There's another reason to believe that now. I said at the time, one, they're going to entrench the CBC in law and their funding. They're going to give more money to the legacy media as well. They're going to go after what they call pollution. And I'm not talking about the stuff that's in the air. The pollution from the United States, Carney said during the election, he's going to go after that. The Liberal Party would go after it, and that is censorship. And the latest is Bill C-5, which will allow them to have the final say on anything that gets built in the country with very little oversight on where the money is spent and who it goes to, and if it breaks the law as well. But what was it the other day that got me thinking that they'll never, ever change their minds about the Liberal Party? Because you and I saw a couple of things happen at the G7 the other day, and we thought it was pathetic. I still think it's pathetic. It's hypocritical as well. You've probably seen the clips. It's regarding a singular topic. So let's take you back during the election campaign and what Mark Carney said then, and then a couple of things he said during the G7 the other day.
President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never happen. I can tell this crowd alone will stop that from happening. Or we've got reinforcements across the country. We got reinforcements across the country. You know, elbows up, that's right. There should be no doubt.
This marks the 50th birthday of the G7, and the G7 is nothing without U.S. leadership. And your personal leadership, leadership of the United States, many issues, geopolitics, economic, technology, and working hand in hand with the United States, Canada and the United States, and the other G7 partners with your leadership. Very much looking forward to the meeting and grateful to have you. Very much.
Nostalgia isn't a strategy. We have to change with the times and to build a better world. And some of you, such as you, Mr. President, have anticipated these massive changes and are taking bold measures to address them.
It was pathetic when the first time I saw it. It's still pathetic now. His spiel during the election campaign worked to great effect to get people to vote for him. But I don't think this is a conservative country anymore. Another reason why I want to be out of Canada and I want Alberta to be independent. I think it's a liberal country. And I don't think the people who saw that the other day and heard those words from Mark Carney, who voted Liberal, even care anymore. And then I see stuff like this, which is basically throwing a spanner in the works with any negotiation with the United States regarding tariffs. The word is that Carney and Trump are trying to get a deal hammered out within 30 days. I think the Liberals would be happier if it continued to go on for months because it plays to their base who stand up to that awful Donald Trump in the United States. The hatred for the United States online, just like the love for Carney, is palpable. People will never buy from the United States again, never go there again. They just hate the United States, and the Liberals love this because it plays to their base, their fear that they ginned up during the election campaign, which I talked about, and the hatred as well. See a story like this: Senate passes bill to protect supply management from any future trade deals. This is one of the major stumbling blocks in making a deal with the United States of America, with Donald Trump. Brian Lilly on this. Carney's team putting up roadblocks to trade deal with U.S. supply management bill, digital services tax, angering Americans across the political spectrum. Both Democrats and Republicans agree on something. Here's the first paragraph of his article. Canada's leadership can't help but shoot itself in the foot when it comes to negotiating a new trade deal with the Americans. We continue to cling to a digital sales tax that has angered all sides in Washington, and Tuesday passed a bill making it illegal to negotiate anything related to supply management. Why not just flip the bird at the Americans and quit negotiating now? Why? Well, because of Quebec, of course. I don't know that the dairy cartel and the dairy lobby in Quebec had anything to do with me paying $4.13 for cream, which I mentioned the other day, but it might have. And it's one of the reasons why dairy products are so high in Canada. But this is throwing a spanner in the works when it comes to a trade deal with Donald Trump. 30 days, they say they're going to hammer out a deal. Does the aluminum and steel industry in Canada have 30 days? Or maybe even the automotive industry. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, you see this. Poilievre now further from electoral victory than at any point since winning leadership. The hatred for Pierre Poilievre, the word palpable pops up again. Boy, they hate this guy. If it wasn't for him, the Liberals wouldn't have had a platform. But God, they hate him. Are the people who voted Liberal ever going to vote for Pierre Poilievre? He's up for review in January. I said a little while back that I think he had until fall. He'll survive the summer. He'll come up for a leadership review. A lot of people who won in the election that were conservatives owe Poilievre for that. But will he survive in January? Because the knives are out for him right now. Check this out. Again, another reason why I think people who voted Liberal will never realize they've been had, and this is a Liberal country now. Latest Nanos poll. The Liberals would win a massive majority if an election were held today. So if you're hoping a vote will come up in the House of Commons that may bring down this government, you better hope differently, because my God, this country is freaking lost. And it's because of Liberal voters who will never realize that they've been had. I'm convinced of that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. I appreciate all your comments. I try to read as many of them as possible. So I'll try to read as many of these as possible. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Onward to 33,000 subscribers. Ring the bell for notifications. I'll see you in the next one.